8 rappers who blew up later in life. With the rising popularity of rap's SoundCloud generation, we've also seen an influx of increasingly younger famous rappers. While rap has always had its fair share of young rap icons, such as Lil Wayne, whose earliest projects trace all the way back when he was only 13 years old, it seems like every rapper in recent years is 20 or under. However, that's not always the case. There are plenty of rappers who did not get any recognition until much later in life. In fact, some of these rappers are even considered to be amongst the greatest of all time. There's a variety of reasons these artists took so long to get into the game. For some, they had to gradually rise from the dirt and escape their surroundings to be discovered. For others, it was as simple as they finally found a winning formula for a hit after years of trying. While for most people, they're just getting a hold of life in their late 20s and early 30s, in the rap world, a lot of people think if you haven't become successful in your teens or early 20s, that you never will. In this video, we'll discuss the artists who prove that this is just a misconception. Before we get started, make sure you like the video and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Number 8. Mclemore. Before Mclemore was known for pop rap super hits and award show blunders, he was known as a pretty well-respected underground rapper from Seattle. Mclemore found his first bit of success in 2010, having newly teamed up with the producer Ryan Lewis. The rapper released a project called Versus Redux EP. The EP featured the track Other Side, which candidly documented Mclemore's struggles with substance abuse. It was a stark contrast from most of his other music, which up until this point has been lighthearted and sometimes even comical songs. Despite the track earning him some traction in the hip-hop community, it wasn't until the release of their album The Heist in 2012, featuring tracks like Thrift Shop and Can't Hold Us. The album would go on to be certified platinum and win a controversial Grammy for Best Rap Album. At the time of the album's release, Mclemore was only 29 years old. Despite his massive success, Mclemore struggled with his newfound fame, famously texting Kendrick Lamar an apology for robbing him of the Grammy, which he later drew criticism for when he posted the message to his Instagram. Number 7. Freddie Gibbs. Though Freddie Gibbs might not be a household name like Jay-Z or Mclemore, he's very well respected within the hip-hop community and has a sizable fan base. Freddie Gibbs has admitted in interviews that he did not take rap seriously until his mid-20s, and his first public release didn't come until 2009, when he was 26. The tape called The Miseducation of Freddie Gibbs was a compilation album that combined mixtape tracks with unreleased studio work. Freddie released the album to the internet completely free. However, Gibbs' first taste of success was with the release of the album Pinata, a collaborative album with the producer Madlib. The album received nearly universal acclaim from critics and was covered in a variety of mainstream publications, including Pitchfork and Rolling Stone. At the time of Pinata's release, Gibbs was 31. Since then, he has continued to receive critical acclaim for his work, especially his collaborations with Madlib, such as 2019's Bandana, which charted at number 13 on the US Billboard hip hop charts and scored big-name features from artists such as Anderson .Paak and Pusha T. Number 6. 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz has been described by some as the uncle of hip-hop, and the name makes sense. An Atlanta fixture for many years, the rapper initially took the stage with the name Diddy Boy, participating as one half of the duo Playaz Circle. In 2011, after receiving repeated criticism for his stage name, the rapper changed his name to 2 Chainz. The release of his mixtape True Religion earned 2 Chainz a spot as a popular feature artist on tracks for rappers like Nicki Minaj and Kanye West. In 2012, 2 Chainz came back again and released his debut album based on a true story, which featured the single No Lie and had a guest appearance by Drake. The album debuted at number 1 on the US Billboard, and at the time of its release, 2 Chainz was 33 years old. Though the album was met with mixed reviews by critics, it continued to perform well commercially. The album would go on to score 2 Chainz critical attention in the form of nominations for 13 BET Hip Hop Awards and 3 Grammy Award nominations. 2 Chainz continues to be a bankable feature for a variety of artists, appearing on almost everybody's album, and still serves as a great example on how to age gracefully in hip-hop. Number 5. 50 Cent. 50 Cent has worn many hats throughout the course of his career. Social media troll, head of the rap collective G Unit, and the namesake of the best rap-based video game ever made. However, before he found success in rap, 50 was tied up in dealing drugs in Queens. He achieved some traction with his track How to Rob in 1999. The song, a tongue-in-cheek track about robbing famous rappers, was well received. However, it wasn't until years later that he achieved mainstream success. After famously surviving being shot 9 times in 2000, 50 caught the attention of Eminem, who flew him to Los Angeles and introduced him to Dr. Dre in 2002. This led to the recording of 50 Cent's debut album, Get Rich or Die Tryin'. The album was, of course, a massive success, debuting at #1 on the US Billboard and receiving attention from almost every major publication at the time. It sold an impressive 872,000 copies in its first 4 days after release. When the album was released, 50 was 27 years old. The album would go on to be the foundation of a 17-year career. To date, he's sold over 30 million albums worldwide. Number 4. Future. Future is an artist whose enigmatic presence makes him feel as if he has always been present in the rap game. However, his run as a mainstream artist has been less than 10 years old. Future started his music career as a member of the Dungeon Family, a collective of Atlanta artists that have connections with Outkast, and has birthed the careers of other artists such as Killer Mike and CeeLo Green. Starting in 2010, Future released an array of mixtapes, including the first installment of his beloved Dirty Sprite series. While these tapes began to gain him traction, the album that would find success was 2011's Pluto, with tracks like Tony Montana. Future would capitalize on this, and his 2014 mixtape Monster would go on to be considered, by many, as his magnum opus, featuring the track Codeine Crazy, a track that is often the benchmark to which all his other tracks are compared to. This tape, along with frequent collaborations with Drake, would cause Future to transcend from a well-respected rapper in the hip-hop community to a household name in 2015, at the age of 31. Number 3. Rick Ross. Rick Ross' past has undergone much speculation during his time in the public eye. Most famously, Ross has had to fight rumors that he spent his career before rap as a corrections officer, despite the fact that he later proved he was only employed in the field for about 18 months, when he was 19 years old. Regardless of what Ross did before he was a rapper, he had plenty of time to do it. He didn't release his debut album, Port of Miami, until 2006. When he was 29 years old. The album, however, was an immediate success and debuted at #1 on the US Billboard. Despite his late start, Ross has managed to build an impressive empire over the last 14 years, going on to found the massively successful Maybach Music record label, and famously going on to purchase a number of Wingstop restaurants after discovering his love for their lemon pepper wings. Ross currently also owns the largest residential property in Georgia, a mansion often referenced in his music, and previously owned by boxer champion Evander Holyfield. Number 2. Lizzo. Lizzo was undoubtedly the breakout star of 2019. While many people assume that Lizzo was new to the rap game entirely, it surprised many to find out that perhaps her most famous song, Truth Hurts, was actually released in 2017 and didn't achieve mainstream success until it gained popularity on TikTok and was featured in a Netflix movie. The album included the track in the deluxe version and combined with the momentum of her singles Juice and Tempo. However, the single Good as Hell would go on to eclipse both of these songs. Surprising again, seeing as the track was released in 2016. In 2019, Lizzo was 31 years old. Besides refreshing proof that women can be successful past their 30s in rap, already a male-dominated field, it's also a testament that songs can find momentum long after they've been released by finding the right audience. Since she was propelled into stardom, Lizzo has gone on to massive critical acclaim, collecting 8 nominations in the 2019 Grammys, and winning the awards for 4 out of the 8 categories. Number 1. DaBaby. DaBaby is one of the hottest current artists, but the rapper has been turning out music for years. Starting his career in 2015, he released 5 mixtapes before ever releasing a debut album. After being involved in an altercation at a North Carolina Walmart in 2018, DaBaby fatally shot an attacker. The charges against him were eventually dropped, and the incident would become a frequent topic of the rapper's music. Months later, after signing a joint deal record with both Interscope and South Coast Music Group, DaBaby released his debut album, Baby on Baby, in 2019. The album was a concerted effort to bring him into the public eye, featuring appearances from artists like Offset and Rich Homie Quan. DaBaby found success with his track Suge, which initially charted at number 87 and continued to climb the charts until it settled at number 3. At the time of the album's release, DaBaby was 27 years old. He followed the album up with his sophomore album Kirk, which debuted almost immediately at number 1 on the US Billboard. Definitely refreshing to have artists like him when it seems like most rappers are still under the legal drinking age. NBA YoungBoy, Lil Nas X, and Lil Pump all being under 21 years old. So did any of these rappers on this list surprise you? Let me know in the comments section, and before you leave, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel.